Morning, John. Late again.
Traffic was terrible.
John, I need to take you shopping after football. I'm starting big school in 2 weeks.
Ladies?
Yes, John!
I dream of a lady in body. A tale that she...
Get lost!
Look at him!
Fucking rabbit shit! John! Hey! Fucking shite! Can't help it! I was ashamed today!
Hey, howdy, hey, awesome people of the internet, Wolfman47 here. So, as a person who has a learning disability and autism, which, yes, you probably have noticed that it's not visible, because, you know, some disabilities can be hidden, it does frustrate me that there's so many big named people out there that think they can sort of say all these random crazy things, and it's just not true. Like, the lady that thought the COVID vaccine can give you autism. No, it doesn't. And then this whole thing that's happening recently with President Trump thinking that paracetamol gives you autism or whatever that thing is. As you know, as a lot of you know, I tend not to bring up politics into my channel here, but sometimes it just feels necessary when there's just so much misinformation about it, and just so many stupid people out there like thinking that they can get away with saying all these things. First of all, autism and a learning disability are lifelong conditions. Some of us get diagnosed with them later on in life, and others, like myself, get diagnosed with them much early in life. Like for me, I got diagnosed at the age of 3, or that's how my parents interpreted it. And there's no cure for them. It's a lifelong condition, and even if there was a cure, I would not go and find a cure, because these disabilities are helped me become the person I am today. They've defined me. I've accepted I've got them, and I know that it means that I do struggle with things more than others. So, but you know what? I'm fine with that. Like, I'm fine with having things that are complicated and so forth and everything. So, yeah. So, the reason I bring this up is because the film I'm talking about today, I swear, is pretty much a film about a person that has a condition, and it's a lot of misinformation about it. So, so in this film, which, as I understand it, is based on a true story, you got this guy who has Tourette's syndrome, and he kind of starts having it when he's 14, and sort of tries to come to terms with it. But it does lead to a lot of people misunderstanding his condition. Like, you got a head teacher that whips his hand. You got his parents who just have no clue how to deal with him and just use a lot of aggression against him. And then you got police force that have misunderstood things. And I think the only people in the film that actually do understand his condition are his friend and his family, who he decides to spend much of his time with, and his employer who employs him. You might have seen in the trailers. I feel very angry for the guy. Like, when I saw this film with Clank Zoka, I felt a lot of anger from this guy, just, you know, because it's obviously set in the sort of 80s and 90s, kind of, sort of, and later on in the sort of 2000s, 2010s, and etc. And yeah, I just felt so angry for the guy. Like, people just misunderstood what he was going on. Like, so for those who don't know, obviously Tourette's is about people who do these sort of tics and say these random things out loud, but they don't actually mean to say that. Like, I'm going to give you an example. In the film, he calls a woman a slut, but he doesn't actually mean to call this woman a slut. It's just his Tourette's. And later on, there's two guys that do actually try and kill him for this girl. But yeah, there's just misunderstanding about it. And one of the things that I felt so relieved about when the film does portray this is a point in the film where there's a lot of people that sort of fight for his corner, and then it gets to a point where the people have done wrong for him actually want to do something good to try and redeem themselves. Like, for example, a police officer thought that he had an attitude problem, but as it turns out, no, it's his Tourette's. And later on in the film, that same police officer who becomes the chief of police decides to find the guy and wants him to sort of train police into learning about Tourette's, which kind of hits home a bit because following a incident of a guy that with autism that died in hospital because of misunderstandings, I'm actually doing that myself. You know, training people from the NHS to sort of try and understand my condition better. And I think it's a great thing to do because it means you're an advocate for people like yourself and all sorts of other things. So I felt so amazed that this guy was able to do it. So with the real life stuff aside, what do I think about the film? So obviously I do tread carefully when it comes to films that are trying to portray someone with a condition. Obviously the Sear film music is definitely not a great representation of someone with autism. No, and she partnered with someone that has done with people that have done really bad things for people with autism. But I'm pleased to say that this film, I swear, is definitely portrays people with Tourette's very accurately. I know South Park also did an episode about people with Tourette's, and obviously it was all tongue in cheek because, you know, South Park is a comedy show not meant to be taken seriously, and I know they would never intend to sort of insult people and their disabilities and so forth because some of the main characters in the show have disabilities themselves. So yeah. I thought it was the acting was good. The choice of music for the film was interesting. The film sort of opens with Blue Monday being played, and Blue Monday is one of those. It's a song that I sort of see used as a sort of song that just makes you busy, but it does actually have lyrics that sort of speak true about the film. How does it feel? Do you treat me like you do? Just for an example. And I think it's definitely one of those films that's needed, especially in this period of time where despite the effort that some of us with these conditions make to try and make sure that people understand these things, there's just still a lot of misinformation and so forth out there. So yeah, and anyone that thinks that autism will just go away, it won't. Anyone that thinks that all these different drugs will give you autism, they won't. And anyone that thinks that they can use their condition as a way to sort of describe their behaviour and everything, I mean, yes, okay, there is some things you can't help with when you have the conditions that you have, but you have to remember that a lot of the time, if you are aware of what you're doing, you cannot use your condition as an excuse to get out of it. Like, I know there's like a few people I used to know who would always use their condition to explain their sort of behaviour, but then I do kind of later learn that some of that their behaviour's got nothing to do with their condition. It's instead got something to do with how they were brought up, how they just behave generally and everything. So yeah, don't use the condition card unless you know absolutely for sure that it's something you cannot help with, like people with Tourette's. So yeah, and despite the seriousness of the subject matter and everything, there is a lot of heartwarming moments in the film. There's also a few funny moments as well. Like, I remember this scene where the guy that has Tourette's meets this girl with Tourette's, and he goes into the car, and basically they both let loose with their Tourette's. They just say all sorts of random insults and everything. It's so funny. And the parents are like, should we interfere? And the parents are like, should we interfere? Nah, let's leave him. Yeah, it's quite funny. And also some of just the stuff that the guy says is just randomly funny. I will admit, there were scenes where the Tourette's got out of hand, and it's at moments where it kind of I feel embarrassed for the guy because he's can't help his condition, and then he gets into the situation. It's like there's just people that just don't understand. But yeah. But yeah, we definitely need more films like this, definitely to show that not all conditions can be helped. Lots of conditions do need representation, and we do need lots of people to sort of help other people understand that these conditions, they are what they are. They won't ever go away. And if there is something that can help the condition, great. But if there's a cure, I mean, if there is a cure, sure. Down to you if you want to pursue it, but at the end of the day, it's up to you if you. At the end of the day, I personally feel there's no cure for what I've got, and I just have to live with it. And I think like anyone that thinks they can just walk over us and everything, I mean, they're just stupid. They have no idea what it's like to live with the conditions that we have. Yeah, and I should say the reason I'm saying condition rather than disability is that in one of the big plot points in the film is the guy doesn't like the word disability being used, so that's why I'm using condition instead of disability when I explain it. So yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna stop talking because I do need to get to work soon. So I Swear, which yes does have swearing, obviously, hence the name, which is kind of funny when the BBC shows the name. But anyway. I Swear, 10 out of 10, because I really enjoyed it. It's a very accurate portrayal of people with a condition like Tourette's, and I wish that there's more films like it out there to try and help other people, like those stupid people that think they can walk all over us and say these drugs give you what you got. Yeah, just better awareness, really. So yeah, that's what I've got to think about I Swear. At the moment, it's not had its wide release yet. It's because me and Clank went to see a preview of it. I know, as I understand it, it should be out quite soon, next week, I believe. At the time of doing this review. So do check it out if you can. Do let me know what you think in the comments. And also, if you do have your own condition and sort of want to explain a bit about that, feel free to as well. Obviously, no pressure, because some people don't want to talk about the condition than others, and that's perfectly fine and understandable. But just know that there are people out there that will fight your corner and will understand that your condition and everything. So, just that reassurance. So yeah, and apart from that, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you can, please. Those of you new to this channel, I do reviews like this, I talk about new films, video games, TV shows, etc. I also do gaming videos so every Monday and Tuesday I do a video for a long game, and it's usually like a series of videos, usually without commentary, but I sometimes add commentary. But it's otherwise me playing, editing, and so forth. Every Wednesday I do Let's Play videos of a random game. And I should say, with the Monday and Tuesday videos, it's usually 4 games I alternate between. So yeah. Every Thursday, topical vlog, talking about anything that I'm interested in. And for the rest of the week, it's videos with friends that I've done, funny shorts, reviews like this, hauls, rants on life, and loads more. See you in the next one. Peace to you all, and remember, if you have a condition, do not let your condition. If you have a condition like what I've got or what this guy has in the film I Swear, don't ever see it as a negative thing, because even though you might think it's a negative thing, it really, really isn't. It'll help you understand. Watching films like this and sort of talking to people like myself, it kind of helps you understand your condition better and helps you try and cope with it better. Don't ever think it's a negative thing, because it's definitely if you have it, you have it. If you have it and you have it, and yeah, as you can tell, I'm struggling to try and sort of explain it, but yeah, if you have a condition and you think it's a negative thing, do try your best to try and understand it better, because eventually you will see it as a positive thing, that your condition just helps you be who you are and everything. Might mean that some parts of your life are going to be more difficult than others, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, all right, toodles.